2018 में मैं इंडिया के लार्जेस्ट डायमंड कंपनी के फाउंडर के साथ बैठा हुआ था एंड वी वर डिस्कसिंग ब्लॉकचेन इन हिंदी. Promoter of the group goes way beyond not only gifting the cars in the house, they take employee parents for Chardham. अब कौन कंपनी छोड़ेगा? You know how much is the attrition in Fang and Mang? In mostly 30% plus minus. यहाँ Indian companies, they are all family. Semiconductor is the next big opportunity for India. We missed a big opportunity in 1984.
1989 में मोहाली स्थित सेमीकंडक्टर कॉम्प्लेक्स लिमिटेड में भयानक आग लग गई थी.
सेमीकंडक्टर प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए जो लिथोग्राफी मशीन मिलती है वो एक ही कंपनी बनाती है दुनिया में, ASML. इस कंट्री को वो लिथोग्राफी मशीन नहीं मिलेगी, वो कंट्री कभी भी सेमीकंडक्टर सिंगल नैनोमीटर का बना नहीं पाएगी.
Tell me more about it. चाइना के साथ काम करना कैसे इजी है?
India and China are cousins of Asian corridor. If you look at historically, this part of the world has been leading the world. And today, if you look at ecosystem in India, is so vibrant. There are deep tech startups coming from India. India's first quantum computing startup, QPI. They are building 25 qubit quantum compute. It is a startup and it's a deep tech.
This way we go on full bandwagon with AI. It can mean a lot of things in future.
If it goes wrong, we are weaponizing short-termism. This can actually spoil an entire generation.
What skills do you wish every new MBA grad should have in this new age of AI?
Prompting. 2 million direct employment, white collar, and 2x or 3x of that a blue collar job market, and continuously growing. I think engineering and R&D are growing at 14-15%, and IT services is growing at 8 to 9%. So this is gonna continue to grow. India में 100 से ऊपर GCC हैं जो बंद हो गए, जो सबको glamour दिख रहा है. Cost is just one part of the story. And if you keep pushing that lever too much, you will.
For students dreaming to make a career in AI, deep tech, even GCC leadership, what are the skills which they should acquire?
They just need to work on their.
कैसे डिसाइड करते हो आप जनरली कि AI बेस्ड ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन ऑटोमेशन करना है, RPA करना है?
So
मेन जॉब्स ऐसे क्या क्या हैं जो बिग फोर्स हायर करते हैं?
बिग फोर्स के जॉब्स आर अराउंड रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, ऑडिट, टैक्स एंड एडवाइजरी, टेक्नोलॉजी एडवाइजरी, टेक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, फाइनेंस एडवाइजरी, फाइनेंस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, रिस्क एडवाइजरी, रिस्क ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन.
20 plus years of vast experience. What's the biggest learning you have got till now? हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ अ कंपनी की पॉडकास्ट. आज के एपिसोड में हमारे साथ एक ऐसे लीडर हैं जो एक ही इंसान में कंसल्टेंट, CEO, वेंचर बिल्डर और एंजल इन्वेस्टर सब कुछ लेकर आए हैं. अभिषेक किशोर गुप्ता, पार्टनर और नेशनल सेक्टर लीडर एट KPMG इंडिया, और पहले CEO रहे हैं वो टर्बोटिक के, जहां उन्होंने AI और ऑटोमेशन में नए बेंचमार्क सेट किए हैं. उन्होंने 50 प्लस फॉर्च्यून 500 ग्लोबल कैपेबिलिटी सेंटर बनाए हैं, एक हेल्थ केयर AI पेटेंट फाइल किया है और आज इंडिया के सबसे सॉट आफ्टर टेक स्ट्रैटेजिक वॉइसेस में से एक हैं. उन्होंने अपनी जर्नी UK, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंडिया जैसे मार्केट में बनाई है और आज AI, डीप टेक और ग्लोबल इनोवेशन हब्स पर उनकी सोच पूरी इंडस्ट्री को डायरेक्शन देती है. साथ ही वो एक एक्टिव एंजल इन्वेस्टर और स्टार्टअप मेंटर हैं जो नए फाउंडर्स को शेप करते हैं और इंडिया के टेक फ्यूचर को डिज़ाइन कर रहे हैं. और सबसे खास बात, इस पॉडकास्ट में आपको मिलेगी उनकी ओरिजिनल इनसाइट्स ऑन AI, GCCs, डीप टेक, स्टार्टअप माइंडसेट और यूथ के लिए उनके सक्सेस मंत्रास. बिलीव मी, ये सिर्फ एक कॉन्वर्सेशन नहीं है, एक मास्टर क्लास है जो आप मिस नहीं कर सकते. तो चलिए स्वागत करते हैं विजनरी लीडर और टेक स्ट्रैटेजिस्ट अभिषेक किशोर गुप्ता जी का. Welcome Abhishek Kishore Gupta. How are you, sir?
I'm great and thanks for this opportunity to talk to you. It's a real pleasure to share and understand and learn from you and as well as share my thoughts.
आपका प्रोफाइल काफी इंटरेस्टिंग रहा है. मतलब I looked at your journey, right? You have worked in multiple companies as a leadership. You were partner at KPMG, then you became CEO of Turbotech, right? And फिर again आप अभी leader हो, national leader in KPMG itself, right? So थोड़ा सा आपकी जर्नी बताइए, कैसा रहा है, क्या किया, what led you to be what you are right now?
Tier 2 city में MBA,
हाँ,
and Tier 2 city में BTech, and then got hired from campus by an entrepreneur named Mr. Salish Mehta, Bombay based.
अच्छा.
Guju bhai, solid business acumen. In 2004, we were doing what VCs are doing with startup today. We used to make companies and do the partnership with national large institutes and go take them for listing and unlock the value for all the investors. This was 2004-5. So Salish Mehta had a huge vision for e-learning those days when the infrastructure was not even ready. I worked with Salish Mehta for 2 years, enjoyed my work. Then HCL happened to me. I worked with HCL for 364 days in Chennai. I joined KPMG in February 2007 as a consultant. 2017, I became partner, and 17 to 21, I was into different roles. 21, mid of COVID, when the world was about to come to an end, I realized that something different has to happen. So I joined a Swedish AI startup called Turbotic as a CEO for APAC and Middle East. Set up their complete GCC in India. During my entire career in KPMG, I've done quite a lot of GCC setup from Unilever to Diageo and many others from their end-to-end journey, some part of their journeys and all across sectors. That was anyway one of the learning which I had from KPMG. But running a B2B SaaS company PNL was a very different experience for me. Selling a B2B SaaS without a logo at my back, which used to open the door when I was with KPMG, was missing. तो सोचा कि अब क्या करना है, तो it was difficult learning curve, but in this part at least APAC we had good revenue, good logos. In fact, US का एक logo हम लोगों ने इंडिया बैठ के क्रैक किया,
अच्छा,
and it was a Fortune 500 company.
for GCC, right?
No, it's a Fortune 500. They had a GCC in India.
Right.
Started discussion here. US में क्रैक किया, डील US में हुई, तो वो सब किया वहाँ पर टर्बोटेक में. And then to 24 I decided to move on and do something else, and then KPMG was kind enough and humble enough to kind of say, okay, why don't you come back? So I'm here, heading TMT and IM&A sector for GCC.
थोड़ा सा बताइए टीएमटी और जीसीसी हमारे ऑडियंस के लिए इन लेमन टर्म्स की क्या होता है और कैसे वर्क करता है.
These are sub-sectors within the overall sector of KPMG, which we, sectoral cut देखते हैं. BFSI, technology, media, telco, TMT. IM&A, industrial manufacturing and automotive. For us, aviation and defense is also part of it. Then comes consumer market, retail, life science and all. So these are different sectors within which we have multiple. As you know, you are also engaging with lots of GCCs. So those are the sectoral cut for us.
सो क्या डिफरेंस आया, आप जो टर्बोटिक में काम कर रहे थे किस लेवल पे वो कहाँ पे काम हुआ, देन व्हाई डिड यू प्लान टू मूव फर्दर again from Turbotic, because you're doing really great as a CEO, right?
Lots of pivoting, learning the ways of working with a startup, being hands-on in that kind of a game was a great learning. For me, to make a larger and a bigger impact, needed a larger ecosystem. And in KPMG, the TMT as a whole sector, and there were some changes also happening KPMG mein. So they said, for this particular function, we need more firepower. It's been 1 year and a quarter now. Successful so far, I would say, in terms of numbers and team building. I have a fantastic team working with me. That was another kick.
I looked at it, आपने वी फाउंडर सर्कल में भी वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट फंड के लिए काम किया. बाय द वे मैंने पॉडकास्ट किया है विकास अग्रवाल के साथ जो ऑलरेडी हो चुका है, वी फाउंडर सर्कल के जो को फाउंडर है.
Right.
He had some interesting thoughts about VC system.
Right.
He worked for a long time in India Mart.
Vikas Bhai and we have good friends. I think Bangalore is if you look at in India, is the hub of startup ecosystem.
Right.
And if you're not involved with that ecosystem, being in Bangalore, I think you're missing out on lots of things. So I started working with lots of startup, helping them with their growth strategy in 2016-17 onwards. When I moved on from KPMG, because I was working with B2B SaaS, Turbotic decided to also help WFC and work with the co-founders of WFC as a venture builder, growth partner. I think WFC have done almost 140 deals so far, investments in total. A great platform emerging from India, which is digital as well as helping lots of even non-Indian startups with their fundraise. I was like a entrepreneur in house, like as well as venture partner. You learn a lot when you work with two founders every weekend. The kind of learning which you get from them is phenomenal. मतलब होता है ना, आप कॉर्पोरेट में काम करते करते कुछ टाइम बाद यू लूज द टच विद द ग्राउंड. अगर वो आपको वापस चाहिए तो वीकेंड पे जाके दो फाउंडर के साथ बैठो, वो आपको बताएंगे असली में चल क्या रहा है. राइट.
Correct.
व्हेन यू वर्क विद लार्ज एमएनसीज, $multi-billion रेवेन्यू बहुत बड़ा है, बड़ा एंटरप्राइज है, चेंज रेजिस्टेंस बहुत ज्यादा है. यू कम एंड टॉक टू अ फ्रूगल 7-member startup, 10,000 customers, and made world's first contextual AI video platform. And 7 months, 10,000 customer, then you realize, okay, the world is shifting too fast for me. I need to learn, I need to understand, I need to be relevant. That's the only way for you to be relevant.
वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट चेंज हो जाता है ना. मतलब आप जब बहुत बड़े कंपनी के लिए काम करते हो तो आप एक बबल में होते हो, जो आप उसके आसपास ही देख पा रहे हो, उसके हिसाब से डिसीजन मेकिंग कर रहे हो, लर्निंग भी वही हो रही है. लेकिन जब वो बबल बर्स्ट होता है तो आपको पता चलता है उसके आगे कितनी चीजें जो आपके पोरे में नहीं है।
Yeah.
एंड देन स्टार्टअप में जब आप काम करते हो तो आपको सब करना पड़ता है, आपको
Yes.
देखना पड़ता है यहाँ से इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है, यहाँ से आ रहा है, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. So that way, I think it changes your perspective as well in some way.
TGOF, technology, which is also product, growth, operation, and finance.
Hmm.
These are the 4 things which a founder should do,
Hmm.
right? Technology and product, which is if you are a B2B SaaS, that's your core responsibility.
Hmm.
Growth, because without that, there's no revenue. Ops, because you cannot afford to default on numbers, CAs, and all those formalities.
Hmm.
And last is finance and funding, right?
Hmm.
Today, when I meet so many founders,
Hmm.
either one is doing all 4,
Hmm.
or one is doing 2 out of these 4, one is doing only 1 out of these 4. The learning curve for some of the founders who have done, let's say, Zerodha founder ने जो Reliance के alliance पे जो comment दिया और post डाला था,
Hmm.
look at the brevity, right, in it. I think the ability of being a David and Goliath, out of that Goliath, and that too Indian Goliath,
Hmm.
is huge.
And this changes the perspective of how a founder was created from scratch and can comment on many things. Like अभी काफी outspoken है भी जो creator अच्छे हैं ना, वो they are very much out there on LinkedIn or Twitter to share their experience, their
Right.
opinion, and be biased about their opinion also.
Right.
कि यार I feel this way, right?
Right.
It is happening a lot, and even founders like US में एलन मस्क को देख लो आप, कितना ज्यादा polarized उनका ओपिनियन रहता है, व्यूज रहता है, एंड ही इज अबाउट देयर. सो आई थिंक दिस इज कमिंग मोर even from older generation who has first time entrepreneur as well. So what do you think, matlab this founders and CXOs has to be more relevant to the audience of what exactly they feel about their opinion or not?
Founder are now not only honest, they're brutally honest. I was last weekend in a forum where one of the VC said, I don't invest in a second time founder.
Okay.
Right? But a काफी brutal opinion था. Second time founder is well fed. Successful है तो और भी ज़्यादा नहीं करूँगा इन्वेस्ट. मैं उसी फाउंडर में इन्वेस्ट करूंगा जो फर्स्ट टाइम में फेल हुआ है, बिकॉज उसका हंगर इज 10x देन द हंगर ऑफ अ सक्सेसफुल फाउंडर, राइट?
That's a good
Now,
take.
it's a and I was like, wow, this is a very good input for me. So today, honesty is the biggest policy in all the startups. If I am one of those who have failed in building a startup, only 5% are honestly accepting it and ready to take on the next challenge. वो 5% जिसको भी मिल जाएगा ना, उसकी टीम में फायर होगा, राइट? एंड दैट टीम विल बी एबल टू बिल्ड समथिंग व्हिच इज तोड़ू जो बोलते हैं, राइट? वो दे विल मेक समथिंग तोड़ू. So I think honesty in the startup world is actually paying off well from the people dimension. Like any other ecosystem, there are problems and challenges in the startup ecosystem also. Lots of founders are not able to cope up with the pressure. उनके साथ मतलब problems भी बहुत है, pressure बहुत है VCs का. Next round growth. You know about the edtech startups not doing that great because of one large edtech giant, fail to deliver, as well as lots of compliance issues. So while honesty in one part is paying off well, there are some 10% or 5% areas which are still dark.
Yeah, the authenticity is, I believe, the must-have for founders and CXOs now. Because if you're not authentic to your customer, to any stakeholder, right, this will get notified very fast in this information era. जब सबके पास information है, right? People will read between the lines as well, right? So if you have some opinion, you don't have to kind of hide it or be political about it. I think
2021 to 24 with WFC 100 plus deals they did, right? जब आप 100 डील कर रहे हो तो इसका मतलब आपने ऑलमोस्ट 10,000 फाउंडर से बात की होगी. उसको रफ एस्टिमेट 5,000 भी ले लो आप.
हाँ, उतना तो होगी.
अगर 5,000 फाउंडर से बात हुई है, उसके बाद आप फाउंडर के साथ बैठते हो ना टेबल पे, आपको मालूम पड़ जाता है कितना डेप्थ. प्रोडक्ट में दम है नहीं है, प्रोडक्ट का डेमो नहीं दिखा रहा है, हेजिटेट कर रहा है, वीडियो डेमो लेके आया है, और लेके आया बट कॉन्फिडेंट है, MVP लेवल पर है, ठीक है, बट बंदे में दम है,
क्लियर है कि ये नहीं बना है और ये बना है.
एग्जैक्टली. So today, in the early stage, most of the bets are on the founder.
As a venture builder in a big four firm, right? आपने innovation, speed, fast जो आप करना चाहोगे और एक risk averse culture होता है, ये आपने दोनों देखा होगा. I am sure internal tension भी देखा होगा. तो कुछ बताइए इसको, आपका क्या ओपिनियन है, आपने कैसे बैलेंस किया?
Good question. Actually, 7 I joined, as I said, right? And 17 I became partner. This is a bit of fast track journey for anyone in the big four, and that was all because of the enterprising nature. एक सिंपल एग्जांपल देता हूँ, 2014 में स्टकनेक्स करके वायरस आया था, जो इंडस्ट्रियल सिस्टम्स का सो फार फर्स्ट अटैक था, and no one knew about it that time. The education itself took long time for us to make people aware. We went ahead as I took the lead. I used to be in cyber practice those days of KPMG, and did two projects, which were the first project of Industry 4.0, cyber security. 2014. We are talking about 11 years back. Entrepreneurship is very natural, and you can find opportunity anywhere. Similarly, within the firm, building some of those hacks or some of those tools and techniques. In fact, within my fellow partners also, I have an image of being maverick, thoda sa ki things little different, but that's what is needed today. Right? You cannot go old ways of doing the things. मतलब पहले जो आप साइबर सिक्योरिटी कर रहे थे 10 साल पहले, आज उससे मैनेज काम नहीं होगा. आप रिस्क जिस तरीके से मैनेज कर रहे थे, आज उस तरीके से रिस्क मैनेज नहीं हो सकती है.
आपने लिंक्डइन पर्ल्स चालू किया है अपना, राइट? आप अब पॉडकास्ट भी कर रहे हो विथ इंडियन जीसीसी प्लेयर्स टू फाउंड सीएक्सओ लेवल पीपल, राइट? सो आपको सबसे बड़ा बिगेस्ट मिसकंसेप्शन क्या लगता है अबाउट जीसीसीज इन इंडिया, राइट?
जीसीसी का जर्नी 20 साल का हो चुका है. आज भी अगर आप किसी से बात करने जाओ तो 50 और 60% आपके डिस्कशन में आता है कॉस्ट वर्सेस वैल्यू, innovation center, innovation hub. I think that story is done. There are corridors which are matured enough. US, India, सालों से काम कर रहा है, right? There are lots of people which are still hesitant of accepting this model. What is happening today? You come from the industry, so you will understand it easily. हम लोग काम को capability से connect करते हैं, right? वो काम को capability से connect करने के अलग अलग मॉडल हैं. मैं employ कर सकता हूँ, मैं थर्ड पार्टी के थ्रू ले सकता हूँ, मैं इंडिपेंडेंट फ्रीलांसर कंसल्टेंट हायर कर सकता हूँ. I can go on a platform and hire a capability, or I can offshore a capability. These are different models, and there are three parameters which all these differentiate. One is cost to get that work done. Second is my control on that work, right? Is it confidential, private, or I cannot share the data and all. The third is my speed of doing it, right? How agile I want that work to be. When I'm offshoring my work, right, these three parameters, cost definitely goes down, but confidentiality is in many corridors, sectors like defense, still a big concern, right? Agility, I want 24/7 support. Can I get that from India? Right? I think those questions are down now.
Yes.
Things like EOR are disrupting the GCC model, and no one is talking about it today.
Yeah, so I think start हुआ था जब 20-25 साल पहले, तो it was more about cost center.
Right.
But with time, I think we have got to the stage where now world looks at us as an innovation center rather than, so that is clear. Now अभी जो आपने right point बोला, जो मैं पूछना भी वाला था, EOR जो अभी हो रहा है, right, जिस तरह से disrupt कर रहा है, cannibalize कर रहा है GCC को, तो आपने तो उस पे अच्छा खासा टिक दिया है लिंक्डइन पे, मैंने पढ़ा था आपका आर्टिकल बहुत टाइम पहले. तो थोड़ा सा मुझे बताइए कि इसका एक्चुअली गेम क्या है और इतना ज्यादा EOR में कन्वर्ट क्यों हो रहा है और हमें क्या करना चाहिए आगे?
We are trading the sovereignty of the country or the ecosystem with the temporary flexibility of staffing. COVID made the entire world a single canvas for capacity or capability, right? Anyone wanted anyone to work from any part of the world. People started experimenting कि मैं जंगल से काम करूँगा, मैं हिमालय से काम करूँगा, and slowly, the large banking GCCs, which never used to let people access data off their network,
Yes.
they allowed it. कि बस ठीक है, two-way VPN tunnel है, आप काम करो घर से करो, but show must go on, right? Now, during COVID, lots of EOR. What is EOR? EOR is a HR payroll platform. जहाँ पर आप I am a ABC enterprise based in US. मुझे 5 बंदे इंडिया में चाहिए, 5 इजराइल में, 10 मनीला में. I can use that platform to pay their salaries, but they are my employees as an employer of record. My policy, my process, it is not outsourcing, it is not freelancing, it is not full-time employment. It is a model in the middle which is giving me flexibility to hire people at a faster speed. But what happens with things like IP, right? Misclassification of employment, P risk, permanent establishment risk. No one is talking about it today. EOR model, while flexibility दे रहा है एक तरफ से, दूसरी तरफ से काफी सारा IP लीकेज हो रहा है. The country where the IP is being created is not getting credit of that IP. Someone else is making the top line on that business. So EOR में I just did some analysis, and the fact says among top 5 EOR players, there are 100,000 enterprises, and 100,000 enterprises payroll they are processing. Let's assume even out of 100,000, which is 1 lakh, 5% GCC था. So we have lost 5,000 GCCs in India. And agencies today are talking about 1750 for last so many years. 1750 is the number of GCC in India. I can easily say that we have lost almost the same number to EORs.
क्यों ऐसा क्या हो रहा है कि मतलब कॉस्ट की वजह से लोग ज्यादा मूव कर रहे हैं?
GCC सेटअप करने में एक इनिशियल फ्रिक्शन होता है. बोर्ड अप्रूवल चाहिए, न्यू लीगल एंटिटी सेटअप करना है, आपको बोर्ड पेपर के साथ आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट अप्रूवल चाहिए.
राइट.
विथ EOR तो इनिशियल फ्रिक्शन हैज बीन रिमूव. मतलब मुझे 5 बंदे इंडिया में चाहिए, मैं किसी भी EOR प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाऊंगा, उनके थ्रू उनकी सैलरी प्रोसेस कर दूं. एंड विद Gen Z दे आर नॉट वरीड अबाउट कि मैं फुल टाइम एम्प्लॉय हूँ या नहीं हूँ. राइट. एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग ट्रेंड है दुनिया में जो मैं काफी क्लोजली एनालाइज कर रहा हूँ. एवरेज ह्यूमन लाइफ टाइम इज इंक्रीजिंग. राइट. पहले 50-60 होता था, 70 हुआ, फिर 80 हुआ, अभी इट इज गोइंग टुवर्ड्स 100.
हैं?
Right?
I didn't know that.
80 I think we have already reached.
80 we are there. That is
Right, so it is going towards 3 digit now slowly because of good healthcare, good conditions and all. At the same time, if you look at, I don't think you will know anyone in your generation who has only worked in one enterprise or one company. But in your father or your parents' generation, you will see many people who have joined one company and retired from that company.
because that time security of job was not there. So people want to
Options
stay-
were not there.
Options were not there.
सरकारी जॉब वाज द फैशन, राइट. तो अब अगर आप इन दोनों ट्रेंड को देखो, मेरे एवरेज नंबर ऑफ वर्किंग इन एंटरप्राइज आर इंक्रीजिंग, नंबर ऑफ इयर्स. ठीक है. एज अ ह्यूमन, इफ माय लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी इज 80, if it goes towards 90, I'm adding at least 2 to 3 years of working career.
Right.
At the same time, average time to work in an enterprise is reducing. पहले 30 साल या 35 साल का जो भी करियर था वो मैं एक ही कंपनी में कर रहा था, अब मैं 3 साल में कंपनी बदल रहा हूँ. Think about a person's their life in the future, Gen Z's life, and how many career in the companies they will have.
अभी वही ट्रेंड है ना that they want to relax, they want to enjoy the work as well as enjoy the life together. Basically जो EOR setup है ये तो और ज़्यादा फिर बढ़ेगा because वो flexibility employee को तो मिल रहा है, right? और जो से आपने IP की बात की, ये सारी चीज़ें एक बड़ा कंसर्न भी है because पहले तो इन सब बारे में काफ़ी ज़्यादा अवेयर थे और लोग कॉन्शियस थे, स्पेशली MNCs. अब वो बेसिकली क्या इसको थोड़ा सा लेट डाउन कर रहे हैं. ज्यादा कौन GCCs ले रहा है? आई थिंक बिग फॉर्म्स ले रहे हैं, मिडिल लेवल फॉर्म्स जो होते हैं वो ज्यादा EOR की तरफ जा रहे हैं. क्या ट्रेंड है?
अभी किसी भी फोरम में जाओगे जीसी की, सब लोग मिड मार्केट की बात कर रहे हैं.
ठीक है.
100 से 200 सेंटर का जीसी चाहिए हमें, और वो कंपनी का टॉप लाइन 1 बिलियन 2 बिलियन होगा. लाइक मिडिल स्टैंड्स ऑफ जर्मन और मिड मार्केट ऑफ यूएस इज द स्वीट स्पॉट. बट उसके नीचे वाला जो सेगमेंट है, सीरीज ए फंडेड स्टार्टअप, अ कंपनी विच इज 200, 300, 500, they all are going for EOR. There is a clear divide you can see in the world. Setting up a legal entity versus starting with 10 people, experimenting with it. अगर वो एक्सपेरिमेंट ठीक हो गया तो हो सकता है फिर जीसी सेटअप करने बाद में.
आपने टर्बोटिक में आई थिंक ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन किया था ऑटोमेशन का, which was recognized by Zinnov, right? So उसके बाद आपने कैसे डिसाइड करते हो आप जनरली कि AI बेस्ड ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन ऑटोमेशन करना है, RPA करना है?
Right.
इस तरह से इसको आप डिसाइड करते थे?
The idea was self-driving enterprise, self-driving companies. So what is a self-driving companies? Where the process is intelligent enough to process the multiple steps of the enterprise business. So what we built was a command center जहाँ पर आप multiple RPA, OCR, AI platforms को सिंगल स्क्रीन पे ऑर्केस्ट्रेट कर सकते हैं. आपको पता होगा लार्ज एंटरप्राइजेस में SOC और NOC होता है. SOC is Security Operation Center, where multiple people are sitting and looking at security incidents worldwide in the enterprise.
Right.
Similarly, you have NOC, in Network Operation Center. We believe future में enterprises who are deploying too much of AI won't be able to afford AI going down. अगर आपने इतना ज़्यादा AI afford कर दिया है कि आपका P2P प्रोसेस AI पे डिपेंडेंट है, तो आप अफोर्ड नहीं कर पाओगे कि AI डाउन चला जाए, क्योंकि आपके पास बंदे नहीं है जो इनवॉइस प्रोसेस कर रहे थे.
पूरी डिपेंडेंसी उसी पे आ गई.
पूरी डिपेंडेंसी उस पर आ गई है. उसकी डिपेंडेंसी किस पे है? इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे, सॉफ्टवेयर पे. These are the two dependencies. How can you avoid a downtime of AI is the next big thing, right? And that was the whole idea about it.
AI ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एट स्केल जो आप कर रहे हो, इसको आप कैसे इंश्योर करते हो कि स्पीड तो आ रहा है इससे, लेकिन एथिकल गार्ड रेल्स भी रहे, उसमें कोई डेटा में इशू नहीं आए, ऑल दोज थिंग्स हैव टू बी बैलेंस्ड आउट. तो आपने कैसे इसको मैनेज किया था?
It's very counter intuitive. जो इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज होते हैं, they are expansionist by nature. एक बार people start using, let's say, Gen AI, right? You cannot go back, or you cannot stop spreading Gen AI. I think in the human history एक टेक्नोलॉजी है जिसको हम लोगों ने कंटेन किया है, which is nuclear, right? Otherwise, every other there was second one which was CRISPR, which is DNA and gene modification, which was initially let go, but then later on we tried controlling it, but still it's in the hand of many people on the planet today. AI that way is right now out of the cat is out of the box bag, right? So ethical AI is, while it's a big concern, it's at the end of the day is about data. Outside in data, inside out data. There are use cases globally जो फेल हो गए थे AI के, नहीं चले. आपने AI को टेस्ट किया था ह्यूमन फेस रिकॉग्निशन के लिए, कंपनी वाज बेस्ड इन समवेयर इन यूरोप, सो आपका यूज केस और टेस्टिंग डेटा कॉकेशियन था, आप इम्प्लीमेंट अफ्रीका में कर रहे हो, right? So entire data set change. So I think there are ways to build these guardrails around AI as a governance framework. And I believe there are multiple threads going on across the world.
Right.
They should conclude at one place. And as a whole, as a tech community, we need to bring some kind of guardrail around that.
Right, because AI can be now very, very exploitive in terms of data and then, thinking on its own what to do. Initially, तो काफी ज़्यादा reports आ रहे थे कि it's threatening in a lot of ways. Even Elon and many others put something about they stopped. Now, though I am seeing there is no tomorrow. Everyone is full on bandwagon with AI and giving whatever it is required. अभी तो मैं कल ही पढ़ रहा था कि गूगल ने इतने ज्यादा कुछ एक्सेस दे दिया है, डेटा जो हमारा सारा जा रहा है, वेदर यू डोंट हैव टू पुट ऑन योर डेटा, इट्स ऑलरेडी देयर. आई वाज शॉक्ड. आई वाज सेइंग यार ये क्या हो रहा है, मतलब इतना डेटा फीड कर रहे हैं, क्या बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और कहाँ जाएगा ये. मतलब इफ दिस वे वी गो ऑन फुल बैंडवैगन विद एआई, it can mean lot of things in future.
If it goes wrong, we are weaponizing short-termism. So weaponizing short-termism means आप हर एक चीज का शॉर्टकट बना रहे हो. क्रिएटिंग एन एंटरप्राइज, क्रिएटिंग अ बिजनेस, क्रिएटिंग एन एप्लीकेशन, everything is becoming short term, right? Generative AI, which is the latest trend across among all AI, it's gonna impact media industry, media content, images, videos. Right now AI is capable of building that, so the entire industry is at risk today. Software, abhi software, let's say a project used to have around 50 developers, आप 10 developers के साथ वो project कर सकते हो because Gen AI can generate the code, right? Similarly, thinking, right, writing papers, this weaponizing short-termism can actually spoil an entire generation. If you look at the work, or if you read the book Deep Work, right, it talks about thoughtful deep work after hours of investment in a particular topic. Today, what Google did, so in fact not Google, so if you look at history, human history, what printers did or printing press did to knowledge, right? प्रिंटिंग प्रेस से पहले सारा काम हाथ से हो रहा था. प्रिंटिंग प्रेस आई, शुरू में लोगों ने बहुत अपोज किया कि बस प्रिंटिंग प्रेस विल किल लॉट्स ऑफ बिजनेसेस, लॉट्स ऑफ प्रोफेशन, बट प्रिंटिंग प्रेस ने बुक्स बना के स्प्रेड करना शुरू किया, राइट? Started with religious texture, but again then later on everything came on books, which was a one big revolution. Second was digitalization, right? We did in 60s, 70s, 80s, where data became digital. The third was Google, where the information started. You can now search anything and everything. This is the next revolution where we are going through.
As a big four firm, national sector leader, right? How do you advise customers and clients to be future ready tech, right? In hype of generative AI and the technology which is going on now.
I think adoption is the key, and right adoption is the key. Agar aap, like, technology is a double-edged sword. Every technology is a double-edged sword. You can use it for good, you can use it for bad, you can use it right way, or you can use it wrong way. So अगर आपका प्रोजेक्ट सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो रहा है तो या तो दो प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. Either the person who have done that is not correct, or the system which you have deployed is not correct. Out of other than these two, there is no other problem in a implementation, right? So I think you need to just make sure that you are picking the right technology to kill the right problem, and जो आपने टीम सेलेक्ट किया है, दे आर द राइट सेट ऑफ टीम टू डिलीवर दैट प्रोजेक्ट.
आप केपीएमजी के थ्रू पॉडकास्ट होस्ट करते हो, राइट? तो आपने अभी कुछ ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेसेस के साथ जब पॉडकास्ट किया है या आप आगे करते हो, तो आपने क्या ऐसा सरप्राइजिंग सुना है जो आपने देखा कि वो टेक्नोलॉजी को कैसे अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं जो आपने एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया?
ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेसेस, आई थिंक इट्स नॉट पॉडकास्ट बट बियॉन्ड दैट, 2018 में मैं इंडिया के लार्जेस्ट डायमंड कंपनी के फाउंडर के साथ बैठा हुआ था
अच्छा।
एंड वी वर डिस्कसिंग ब्लॉकचेन इन हिंदी बिकॉज दे वांटेड टू नो कि ब्लॉकचेन से व्हाई डीबीएस इज ट्रैकिंग डायमंड, तो उनको समझना था. व्हेन आई स्पोक विद द टीम इन द रूम, देयर वाज वन जेंटलमैन सिटिंग इन द कॉर्नर, ही वाज हेड ऑफ एचआर एंड इन द ब्रेक आई आस्क्ड हिम कि व्हाई आर यू सिटिंग इन द रूम.
हम्म।
तो ही सेड, सर यहाँ पर नेचुरल एट्रिशन है, बाकी एट्रिशन है नहीं. Okay, now this is the same company which gives their employee 400, 500 cars and apartments every Diwali, right? So when we had lunch, वो जो महाराज थे जिन्होंने खाना सर्व किया था, वो उनके यहाँ 3 जनरेशन से काम कर रहे हैं और सारे एम्प्लॉयज को ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच, डिनर, एवरी मील इज सर्व्ड बाय देम, राइट? तो इंडियन एंटरप्राइजेस हैव so many secrets, right? He told me that promoter of the group goes way beyond not only gifting the cars and the house, they take employee parents for Chardham, right? अब कौन कंपनी छोड़ेगा? Like we, you know how much is the attrition in Fang and Mang?
राइट।
Mostly 30% plus minus. Fang and Mang we are talking about.
Yeah,
अब
I know.
वो एस्पिरेशन होता है बच्चों का ज्वाइन करने का कि फैंग एंड मैंग में जॉब चाहिए, बट 30% एट्रिशन. यहाँ इंडियन कंपनीज दे आर ऑल फैमिली.
इट्स अ गुड स्टोरी।
Yeah.
राइट, आपने स्टार्टअप माइंडसेट पे काम किया WFC में, और आपने बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप के साथ आप एज अ एंजल इन्वेस्टर भी आई बिलीव आप रहे हो, काम किया है क्लोजली। तो आप बिल्डिंग अ गुड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, कमिंग टू बेसिकली आपका KPMG या ऐसे कोई भी बिग फोर कंपनी है, उसमें जब आप ये कल्चर बनाना चाहते हो तो कैसे आपने माइंडसेट चेंज करना होता है, उनको कैसे आप उस स्टार्टअप वाले माइंडसेट पे लेके आते हो?
I think you've touched a very critical word called culture. There is enough quotes about culture.
राइट।
It eats strategy for breakfast. And I think वो एक काफी overlooked सा concept है. मुझे personally लगता है कि एक typical HR की जो job responsibilities है, उसमें से culture building and sensing the floor will only be human aspects. Everything else cannot be automated. आपका joiners, movers, levers, interview, candidate JD creation, payroll, सब ऑटोमेट हो सकता है, बट बिल्डिंग कल्चर एंड सेंसिंग द फ्लोर कि क्या प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है, क्या ब्रू हो रहा है फ्लोर पर, दीज आर द ओनली 2 क्रिटिकल ह्यूमन एलिमेंट्स जिसको रिप्लेस करना एआई के लिए अभी इतना पॉसिबल नहीं है. राइट नाउ कमिंग बैक टू हाउ डू वी डू इट, राइट? कल्चर goes on trust, right? You have to build trust with the team. You have to watch each other. You have to be there for each other.
Right.
My team today, you know, if I'm not around, they back each other. If, let's say if I'm busy and they have to do something where one of them has done it but other has not done it, so they will back each other. And it's a kind of a very close knit community now, where that culture is now spreading with other groups. Like this works. This really works. You stress कम है, outcome ज़्यादा है, health अच्छी है, plus you know with outcomes comes your comp and ben, right? So I think a positive culture is very infectious in an enterprise. काफी वायरल हो जाता है. तो एक अगर आपने एक जगह पे क्रिएट किया है तो then people start adopting slowly at multiple places.
बट बड़ी कंपनी में, बिग फोर जैसे कंपनी में, मतलब देर आर लॉट ऑफ साइलोज,
Yeah.
राइट? यू लीडर ऑफ समथिंग, दे इंटरेक्ट विद अदर डिपार्टमेंट्स, अदर एंटिटीज एंड सच, राइट? सो वो एक कंपनी का कल्चर होता है, एक लीडर का कल्चर होता है, उसको कैसे नेविगेट करते हैं?
Key to do that or navigate is collaboration. You reward people who are collaborating. You recognize them in front of everyone. Slowly everyone will aspire to do that, right? So in a large enterprise where there are multiple silos, you create a set of 5 or 6 Avengers who are collaborating and reward them. These 3 guys from this different department has done this thing, resulted into this much revenue or new product or client satisfaction or something ESG footprint improvement. Reward them, recognize them in front of everyone. Then everyone will else realize, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what is getting recognized, right? So it's about the leadership way of building that culture, recognizing that culture and feeding that culture repetitively so that the other cultures or other things which are brewing in an enterprise will die naturally.
When you're working for a VC fund, right, you would have come across a lot of startups pitching, early stage startups. क्या रेड फ्लैग आप उनमें देखते थे, स्पेशली जब आप SaaS या डीप टेक के फाउंडर्स स्टार्टअप्स को देखते थे और वो पिच करते थे?
So SaaS deep tech, the biggest problem today is the gestation period, right? So two part of it. One part is deep tech. Deep tech need validation, verification, which takes minimum 3 to 5 years. That's why it says deep tech is either FANG or MANG job, or if you go towards pharma, large pharma companies with deep pockets only can fund those type of research. New drug discovery, right? Human trials, CRO. And then by the time it hits the market, it's 5 to 6 years. It's not a startup's job
Hmm.
to do that 5 to 6 years because they cannot keep getting funding. Coming to SaaS, we have built a SaaS. Building SaaS might be a little faster. You can build it in 1 year. When you go and sell it to an enterprise without, again, a logo, brand, security certification, no recognized backers for you, B2B SaaS founders struggle to cross that 6 month of sales hurdle. It's minimum 3 to 6 months until unless you have a product which doesn't need any PII, personal confidential information, and all those things. The moment a large enterprise looks at a small startup, the biggest concern is will they survive on? Second is, okay, fine, your product is good. What are the terms and condition with this, right? So can you come and do the vendor onboarding? Vendor onboarding is a long questionnaire, third party risk management, so many things. For B2B SaaS founder, the biggest problem was grit, because it takes time to build some world class product and sell it, because there are three types of products or a coding, right? One is a pure code, it works. Okay. The second is code which works and it has some bit of GUI. Then comes the enterprise grade application. No bug, fantastic user experience, a less number of clicks with more output, all those kind of things. Building that kind of an enterprise grade software, it takes time.
राइट एंड आई फील दैट वो जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो इंडिया में होना चाहिए
Right.
बैकिंग द फाउंडर्स, बिकॉज अगर आपको डीप टेक में बनाना है, और जैसे आपने देखो ओपन एआई कितने साल और कितने बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर खर्च हुए, तो कुछ ऐसा बना है जिसने डिसरप्ट कर दिया और उसके ऊपर लोग अब बिल्ड कर रहे हैं। तो वैसा यूएस में बन रहा है, इंडिया में क्यों नहीं बनेगा? क्योंकि वो उस लेवल का इंफ्रा, उस लेवल का वीसी सपोर्ट भी आना पड़ेगा। एटलीस्ट सम फंड्स हैज टू बी लाइक दैट। अदरवाइज अगर वो जो हमारा जनरल 8 to 15 ईयर्स का जो रहता है, राइट, 8 to 15 ईयर्स मतलब 10 ईयर्स तो ओपन एआई को ही लग गया, और कितने फंडिंग लगी।
See, it's evolving, it's developing, and India is not, so government has taken a call on that, and there are funds available by government of India, which are grants. They are not even taking equity in the company,
राइट,
like BIREC. Many other grants which government is now distributing through IIT, IIMs, and many other ecosystems. And those are publicly available. You can go and apply for it. Again, as I said, grit to be a cockroach for 5 years. Take a less salary and believe in your idea that it will work. I think there are some of very, very innovative startups which I have met. They got those government grants. They also got grants from government of France, government of Norway, many other large. So if you have grit, you will do it.
many GCC leaders fear now of EOR, right? So do you believe ये जो localized innovation हो रहा था GCC के थ्रू, ये अभी डेंजर में है इस पे, या फिर ये इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट पे? आपको क्या लग रहा है किधर जा रहा है?
Because EOR ka, you cannot grab the shape and size of the hydra which is growing. Actually हमें पता नहीं है कितना IP already loss हो चुका है. Many other grants which government is now distributing through IIT, IIMs. मैं किसी EOR के लिए काम करता हूँ, IIT का पास आउट हूँ, मुझे बढ़िया सैलरी मिलती है. EOR के थ्रू मैंने जितना भी IP डेवलप किया है वो उस कंपनी के पास है. Now I am only paying income tax in India. So India has lost that IP in a true sense. In an employment model or a third party model, at least there are TP, there are PE risk and all those controls in place. In EOR वो control missing है.
मतलब आपने लिखा भी है, तो आपको लगता है कि गवर्नमेंट को इसमें अच्छा इंटरवीन करके इसको सॉर्ट करना चाहिए, पॉलिसी बनानी चाहिए?
It's a golden opportunity for the government of India. EOR is the next big golden opportunity from tax perspective, from job and employment perspective, as well as creating the next wave of GCCs. Any company who's experimenting with 5, 10, 20 kind of a headcount tomorrow can also set up a legal entity in India and do it formally, right? So there is a exit from the EOR funnel which we need to capture in a very methodical way, and that's what government of India ideally should do.
सेमीकंडक्टर, उस पे हम बात करते हैं। काफ़ी ज़्यादा स्ट्रेट ड्रिवन लगता है अभी, जिस वजह से पुश हो रहा है। सो आपको क्या लगता है, इसको भी हम चेंज करना चाहिए? वी आर वे बिहाइंड देन अदर कंट्रीज, एंड स्टेट ड्रिवन काफ़ी ज़्यादा पुश रहता है। कमर्शियल वायबिलिटी और जीसीसी इंटीग्रेशन कैसे कर सकते हैं?
Semiconductor is the next big opportunity for India. At the same time, we missed a big opportunity in 1984. Semiconductor Complex Limited, SCL, was a public-private partnership or something like that, public sector undertaking. उस टाइम पे 1984 में हम लोग सेमीकंडक्टर मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे थे. उसमें एक मिस्टीरियस फायर हुआ प्लांट में. 89 से वो प्लांट बंद है. तो 1985 से अभी तक आप देखो तो हम लोग सिर्फ सेमीकंडक्टर में बॉडी शॉपिंग ही कर रहे हैं. इंडिया इज पार्ट ऑफ लॉट्स ऑफ ग्लोबल प्रोडक्ट. इंडियन इंजीनियर्स आर पार्ट ऑफ लॉट्स ऑफ ग्लोबल प्रोडक्ट. बट इंडिया का फ्लैगशिप प्रोडक्ट नहीं निकल के आया.
राइट.
इंडियन सेमीकंडक्टर कंपनीज आर दे आर फैबलेस, बना रही हैं प्रोडक्ट, बट ऐसा कोई मेजर अडॉप्शन वाला प्रोडक्ट हम लोगों ने नहीं बनाया है. वी हैव टैलेंट, वी हैव थॉट प्रोसेस. आप जो बात कर रहे थे स्टेट ड्रिवन, आई थिंक दैट इज वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड एट द बिगनिंग. आई थिंक देर आर 6 or 7 फैब विच आर अप्रूव्ड नाउ. फैब आएगा, फिर उसके बाद ओसेट भी आना है. ओसेट के बाद पूरा पैकेजिंग, द कंप्लीट वैल्यू चेन. आज की डेट में आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज वन सिंगल कंट्री विच हैज द कंप्लीट सप्लाई चेन ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर विद इन द सेम कंट्री. सेमीकंडक्टर सप्लाई चेन इज वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स टॉपिक. सिंगल नैनोमीटर सेमीकंडक्टर प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए जो लिथोग्राफी मशीन मिलती है वो एक ही कंपनी बनाती है दुनिया में, ASML, नेदरलैंड की कंपनी है. एंड इफ टुडे समवन पुट एन एम्बार्गो कि इस कंट्री को वो लिथोग्राफी मशीन नहीं मिलेगी, वो कंट्री कभी भी सेमीकंडक्टर सिंगल नैनोमीटर का बना नहीं पाएगी. उसके लिए भी जो क्रिस्टल्स मिलते हैं वो किसी और कंट्री से आते हैं. सो द एंटायर सप्लाई चेन ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर इज वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स.
For students dreaming to make a career in AI, deep tech, even GCC leadership, what are the skills which they should acquire जो underrated है या उनको पता होना चाहिए कि इस पे कुछ करना पड़ेगा? आप तो इसमें बहुत साल बिता चुके हो.
आई थिंक ये जो आज का टैलेंट है ना, इट सरप्राइजेज मी मेनी टाइम. मेनी यंगस्टर हु आर वर्किंग विद अस टुडे, they come with such a deep understanding of a topic which हमारे जैसे लीडर्स को 5 से 10 साल लग गए थे समझने में, वो पहले से पूरा होमवर्क करके आते हैं. These young leaders are a lot more hungry. Their ability to understand and grasp a complex topic faster. You would have in any way observed lots of founders who have been disruptor of a large sector, be it Kamath Brothers or anyone else. They are taking chance with the large enterprises of the world. The young leaders of today, they just need to work on their attitude, their ability to digest a high amount of intelligence which is being generated by AI, and take the right calls and take the right decisions. That will be the future.
So you are a engineer, then MBA. आपने मल्टीपल कंट्रीज में काम किया है, वेदर इट इज इंडिया, यूके, ऑस्ट्रेलिया. सो आई एम श्योर दैट आप डाइवर्स एक्सपोजर पे बहुत बिलीव करते हो. आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा है? एडवांटेज क्या होता है अगर लीडरशिप इफेक्टिवनेस की बात करें तो इस तरह का डाइवर्स एक्सपोजर ये सब कैसे लेके आप इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हो?
Very, very important. I have seen many mid-level, employees or my colleagues getting stuck when they are supposed to get a truly global leadership role. Because the way I put things forward, the way a Japanese mid-level employee puts things forward, the way Polish will put a things for, it's totally different, right? And if you don't understand those cultural nuances, you might misinterpret those signals. It's very, very cultural thing. So when I started working with Sweden, I realized it's a totally different culture, right? There's a book called Doing Business in India, A Swede's Perspective by Johan Anderson. I read that book. उस बुक में एक सिंपल सी चीज लिखी हुई थी कि इंडिया में 3 तरह की अरेंज मैरिज होती है. मैं सरप्राइज, मैंने बोला 3 तरह की अरेंज मैरिज का मतलब क्या है? तो ही सेड एक तो ये है कि आप घर जाओगे, पेरेंट्स बता देंगे इस लड़की की शादी होनी है. दूसरा, पेरेंट्स ने 10 प्रोफाइल लगे होंगे, बायोडाटा होगा वो दिखाते हैं. तीसरा, फैमिली में वेडिंग हो रही है, वहां पर फिक्स हो जाते हैं. आई वाज सरप्राइज्ड टू सी दैट समवन इज एनालाइजिंग इंडियन कल्चर सो डीप. हर एक कल्चर के अलग अलग नुआंसेस होते हैं, right? In many cultures, from religion, the way they have evolved as a system or ecosystem, like China, right? It's a different ecosystem altogether. China के साथ काम करना is not very difficult, but the myth is other way.
टेल मी मोर अबाउट इट. चाइना के साथ काम करना कैसे इजी है?
Other than language barrier, we are a lot more alike than the Western countries. So Asian neighbors, we have a lot more saving-oriented culture. We have a lot more family-oriented culture, joint family culture. So I think India and China are cousins of Asian corridor. It's just that the geopolitical situation has always kept us, not always, in fact, I think it was post 80s or 90s. Otherwise, if you look at historically, this part of the world has been leading the world.
Yeah.
In 1800, 80% of the, or 70 to 80% of the world trade was controlled and GDP was managed from India and China.
The UK changed it all. England changed it all.
The colonialism era, which included Spain, which also included France, which also included Portugal,
Right.
they all did a colonialism in 1800 onward, which changed the world map.
Yeah. So can I say the value system of India and China is more or less same in terms of how they think? Like you talk about, family to, value system of savings and everything.
I think there is an overlap in value system also. There is an overlap in culture also. There is an overlap in religious belief also, economy, which is making us, compete with each other. But I believe there are lots of collaboration opportunities.
As someone who has scaled GCCs, multiple countries, UK, MENA, US, Australia, right? What do you think जो scale ready जो GCC होता है और एक जो cost saving GCC होता है, इसमें क्या difference होता है?
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है। इंडिया में 100 से ऊपर जीसीसी हैं जो बंद हो गए, कोई इसके बारे में बात ही नहीं करता। फेल्ड जीसीसी, सबको ग्लैमरस, वो 80% जीसीसी दिखते हैं जो सबको ग्लैमर 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 दिख रहा है, राइट? वो जो जीसीसी फेल हुए, वो क्यों फेल हुए? एंड एज यू राइटली आस्क कि अक्रॉस ज्योग्राफीज स्केलिंग और वैल्यू वर्सेस द कॉस्ट इज जस्ट वन पार्ट ऑफ द स्टोरी. And if you keep pushing that lever too much, you will end up becoming like a third party. Value integration, cultural integration, alignment with the global vision of the enterprise, right, will be lost. If I am an enterprise, I am world's best EV maker. My GCC cannot say I am doing SAP. I am solving tickets. Like, they should be proud about it, and they should have proud about it. They should also be aligned with the global vision of that enterprise. The moment that is there is a disconnect, it becomes us versus them. You become another vendor for them,
Right.
right? Then your NPS goes negative. A truly global, healthy, culturally aligned and value system aligned GCC, it takes a lot of effort to build that kind of a team.
And that integration is a very element there.
Exactly. Earlier you do it, better it is for you.
So you have transition advisory to set up basically a very good GCCs, innovation and everything. So what makes the difference जो एक makeover वाला एक GCC होता है, just makeover कर दिया, to a really innovative centers which integrate all the capabilities of actual parent company?
गुड क्वेश्चन. मैं एक जीसीसी का रिव्यू कर रहा था, वहां पर बहुत सारे पेटेंट फाइल होते हैं एंड लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल वर राइटिंग पेपर्स लेफ्ट राइट एंड सेंटर एंड वेरी हाई ऑन इनोवेशन. डिस्पाइट ऑफ दैट, हेडक्वार्टर टीम वाज नॉट वेरी हैप्पी. उन्होंने बोला यार ये पता नहीं क्या करते हैं. मैंने बोला यार अच्छा पेपर पब्लिश कर रहे हैं, बढ़िया कर रहे हैं. देन वी वेंट एंड रिव्यूड देम. पॉलिसी थी कि अगर आप पेपर लिखोगे तो आपको रिवॉर्ड मिलेगा, अगर आप पेटेंट फाइल करोगे तो आपको रिवॉर्ड मिलेगा, और अगर आप you do some research, you will get reward. When I went and reviewed all the patents and papers and everything, I realized 90% of those papers and patents were not related with the business of the headquarter. So now you have designed a wrong policy. आपकी पॉलिसी बोलती है कि आप पेपर लिखो. अगर आपकी पॉलिसी ये बोलती कि आप इम्पैक्टफुल पेपर लिखो जो मेरे टॉप लाइन को इम्पैक्ट करे या मेरे कस्टमर्स को इम्पैक्ट करे या फिर मेरे बॉटम लाइन को इम्पैक्ट करे, अगर उन पैरामीटर्स पे आप पेपर लिखते हो या फिर रिसर्च करते हो या पेटेंट फाइल करते हो, you should be rewarded. I think it's about the design, how you design it.
If I would say incentives and metrics has to be aligned correctly.
More than metrics, it is about the total global alignment. What is the vision of the company? Okay, how the company is looking at next 3 years and how a GCC is enabling that vision. Finance में भी हो सकता है, HR में भी हो सकता है, IT में भी हो सकता है, innovation में भी हो सकता है. That alignment is a must.
At TurboTech, you forge alliance with Big Fours and multinational companies. So basically जब आप Fortune 500 Big Fours के साथ alliance करते हो, so how do you see the competitiveness in between them? How they cooperate और competitiveness चलता है?
Sales के लिए 2 चीज चाहिए, capability and trust.
ठीक है.
I know Akash, I trust him, but I know उसके पास एक जावा की capability नहीं है, he cannot do it. I will not give you Java work. मुझे पता है कि आकाश जावा का तोड़ू कोडर है, बट मैं ट्रस्ट नहीं करता क्योंकि ये मूनलाइटिंग करता है. तो दोनों केस में आपके अगर आप पैरामीटर देखोगे, सेम इज विद अ स्टार्टअप. अ स्टार्टअप इफ इट हैज टू सेल टू अ फॉर्च्यून 500, ट्रस्ट एंड कैपेबिलिटी दोनों का मिक्स चाहिए. कैपेबिलिटी आप बोरो नहीं कर सकते, कैपेबिलिटी आपको बनानी ही पड़ेगी. बट अगर आप बिग फोर्स का टाइप करते हो या लार्ज कंसल्टिंग बुटीक कंसल्टिंग से टाइप करते हो, यू आर एक्चुअली बोरोइंग ट्रस्ट. सो अगर एक बिग फोर आपकी पिच लीड कर रहा है और आप एक स्टार्टअप हो, तो ट्रस्ट वाला एलिमेंट बिग फोर लेके आ रहा है, कैपेबिलिटी आप लेके आते हो. दैट कॉम्बिनेशन एक्चुअली गिव्स एन एंटरप्राइज अ कंफर्ट कि चलो ठीक है, मैं ट्राई कर सकता हूँ स्टार्टअप का प्रोडक्ट.
आपका प्रोफाइल देख के लगता है यू हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रिजोल्यूट डिसीजन मेकिंग एबिलिटी. अभी एज अ सीईओ आपने भी काम किया है, सेक्टर लीडर भी आप काम कर रहे हो. सो कैन यू शेयर मी वन इंस्टेंस वेयर you took a decision which was having resistance with maybe board members, maybe team, and that paid off?
Many times my decisions are not great decisions. The agility and acceptance and moving on is the biggest key. I won't say all my decisions were right or all my decisions were wrong, but I think many times you need to put the foot down on few fundamental principles of running a practice or dealing with the client, or also teams' ways of working, right? There are some non-negotiable things. There are some things which are flexible. So I think in the future, if you look at decision science is also changing in a big way. So you can easily get lots of analysis done by Gen AI and then take a call on top of it.
इन रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ एंड मार्केट शेयर केपीआईज जो आज बहुत ज़्यादा चलता है, आप कैसे बैलेंस करते हो कि फास्ट डिलीवरी क्लोजर्स हों, उसके अलावा उसके बेसिस पे ये कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं हो कि क्वालिटी ऑफ द डिलीवरी, या फिर आपका बेसिकली जो टीम की कैपेसिटी है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली काम हो, तो इसको कैसे इंश्योर करते हो?
आई थिंक उसका एक ही तरीका है, कोलैबोरेशन एंड जॉइंट ओनरशिप. अगर आपने कोलैबोरेशन और जॉइंट ओनरशिप का फॉर्मूला क्रैक कर दिया, एंड देन पीपल विल बी अकाउंटेबल एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द जॉब. और साथ में कोलैबोरेशन, अगर सी आज की डेट में आप अगर देखो तो लार्जर इकोसिस्टम वही हैं जो कोलैबोरेट करते हैं, राइट? साइलोड कंपनीज और साइलोड इकोसिस्टम्स आर एक्चुअली getting hit a big hit by enterprises, other competition, and many other startups also. Collaboration and the right KPIs framework.
As a AI thought leader, how do you internalize this? How do you coach different leaders adapting to AI and everything?
I think LinkedIn recognized that some time back, but AI is one area which is growing and moving so fast. अगर आप आज थॉट लीडर हो सकता है आपके थॉट कल तक स्टेल हो जाए. every alternate day there is a new model coming, and the learning of those models are super fast, and we are little far from the actual innovation ecosystem which is in the valley, right? Or Israel or some other pockets in China and Japan. I think the only way is you need to keep learning and keep yourself open for all the challenges, and don't make hard belief about AI, because tomorrow it can shatter those beliefs. So don't make those statements which, I think, if you look at historically, right, I think Bill Gates said that there is enough market for 8 PCs in the world. I'm not sure, but we should double check on that, who made that statement. But no one can make that kind of statement for AI today. The way AI is growing, this wave will not settle anytime soon.
You have been known for building fit for purpose teams. So आपको कैसे डिसाइड होता है कि ये टीम बहुत बड़ी है प्रोजेक्ट की, या फिर ये टीम बहुत छोटी है? बैलेंस कैसे करते हो? एक बिल्ड फिट फॉर पर्पस टीम्स कैसे बनाते हो?
हम लोग ने एक काफ़ी बड़ा ग्लोबल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन प्रोजेक्ट वर्ल्ड टॉप 5 बैंक के लिए किया था, जिसमें कि हमारा कॉकपिट टीम विच वाज रनिंग द ग्लोबल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन वाज 62 मेंबर. मल्टी-बिलियन डॉलर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन बजट था उसमें. दैट प्रोजेक्ट वाज आई थिंक द बेस्ट प्रोजेक्ट व्हिच आई हैव डन सो फार. एंड वी रियलाइज्ड दैट it's not about the size of the team, it's about the might of the team. If you have the right people in your team, the size they will take care, and they will know, and they will also come back and tell you that this place will break if you won't get support. In startup culture, if you see, there's a simple formula: you don't hire until unless things start breaking. जब तक आपका कुछ ब्रेक नहीं हो रहा है तब तक चलने दो. कुछ ब्रेक हो रहा है और बहुत ज्यादा, then you hire someone, right? So वो agility है. More than the size of the team, it's the right might of the team which impacts.
आप पोलो खेलते हो, राइट?
Yeah.
सो आप पोलो के प्रिंसिपल्स, फोकस, एजिलिटी, टीम वर्क, ये कैसे आपने नॉर्मल कॉर्पोरेट डिसीजन मेकिंग में काम आता है? क्योंकि इसमें भी काफ़ी जैसे बोर्ड रूम डिसीजन मेकिंग हो गया,
Right.
आपका बेसिकली कैसे एग्जीक्यूशन करना है, इसमें कैसे आप इम्प्लीमेंट करते
If someone plays polo,
हो?
they know how to steer in a VUCA world, right? The VUCA term, which is very common now, because unpredictability in that game is so high. You are sitting on a machine which is running under your control, right? There's a left hand which has the reins, and the whip, right hand which has the mallet, and you are being pushed out of the ground by your opponent team continuously. The ball is running on uneven ground. What else a VUCA training you need? If you can look at so many parameters which are changing around you continuously, and then also you are just focused on that ball and about to hit the goal, right? In the corporate world today, we are actually going through so many uncertainties, right? Technology shift, team change, culture, a threat of new entrants from a startups which can take away your entire business. So to me, I think Polo has taught me to operate in a VUCA world in a lot more agile way. It's one of those games which can help you think on your feet faster, also deliver faster.
पोलो कहाँ से सीखा आपने? इंडिया में तो उतना ज़्यादा पॉपुलर नहीं है, महाराजा लोगों का गेम होता है।
Actually, it's an Indian game.
इंडियन गेम है?
Polo मणिपुर से originate हुआ.
अच्छा।
British came and learnt it, and then they realized ये बहुत अच्छा तरीका है उनकी कैवलरी को फिट रखने का. If you see today, the polo footprint is exactly the Commonwealth footprint.
And that's what I said कि महाराजा लोग जो हमारे
Correct.
इंडिया में ही होते थे,
Correct, correct.
उनका गेम होता है। अब तो उतना ज़्यादा ये स्पोर्ट खेला नहीं जाता है।
Royals and Army and Defense ही खेल रहा है. Our India team captain is HSS, His Highness of Savai Padmanabhan, goes with the call name Pacho. There are, I think, very select 400, 500 player in India who play. So it's shrinking community, but I think it has that charm of being a king's game.
How did it attracted you to play this sport?
I think it's my gift to myself of COVID period. So I learned the entire horse riding and playing polo during COVID.
So यहाँ बैंगलोर में ही?
Yes, with ASC Club.
And how is it going? मतलब मजा आ रहा है? आप कोई टूर्नामेंट भी खेलते हो?
So I think we played 2 seasons and one of the season we won. I think both the season our club won, and it's very systematic. Like the polo season begins in Bangalore and then goes up north, and at any given point in time in one city polo is happening at that time, and then after March stops because during summers it's very difficult to play polo. If you look at 7-minute chakka, which is one game, so it's so Indian that even a round is called chakka, which is chakkar. Right? Britishers couldn't pronounce chakkar. They named it chakka. 7 minutes is the game time. Just 7 minutes. You need to push everything in it to deliver within 7 minutes. Polo stadium or polo ground is equivalent to 7 football fields.
Yeah, I need to play this game, try it out. और पहला तो हॉर्स राइडिंग सीखना होगा जो इंडिया में अब तो लोगों को नहीं आता है। पहले जमाने में हॉर्स राइडिंग ही सब कुछ था, राइट? तो
It was one of the humans' best friend those days.
So let's come back to the discussion we were having with the rise of EOR and GCC getting commoditized, right? Do you think GCC can flex into again being a very big innovation hub to probably counter what effects EOR is making right now? How it should be further making in the market? आपको क्या लगता है इसको कैसे चेंज कर सकते हैं वापस?
Actually, it's not about GCC versus EOR. They both are the models to connect, as I said, the work or the assignment with the capability, right? They both go hand in hand and they both are peers actually. They are not competing with each other. It's about India talent delivering the global innovation from India, and it can deliver in either of the model. It's the same talent which is working in a more organized way, or I won't say unorganized way, but a EOR way.
Given that talent war is going on in all the global tech hub, right? Do you think GCC can also incorporate remote first way of life and work in the way that they can probably have a better impact going ahead?
I think post-COVID, that has been the norm. A lot of GCCs earlier used to have the seat versus employee ratio, which is skewed now. Many GCCs are happy to have an alternate day work from home, looking at the infrastructure problems in the city like Bangalore. That is working out really well.
So you have mentored multiple founders in B2B SaaS deep tech area. What do you think is the difference which you find with a founder who is more of VC pleasing to a founder who is actually trying to disrupt the market or creating more value, regardless of what investment or VC is saying?
See, वो मैंने आपको जो पहले TGOF बताया था ना, टेक्नोलॉजी और प्रोडक्ट और ग्रोथ ऑप्स एंड फाइनेंस, राइट, और फंडिंग. ये product and funding are actually, I would say, equally important for a startup, while the mid two are more operational metrics, growth and operations, right? Product has to be killer, and you have to have enough funding to sustain yourself through what we call it valley of death for the startups. Many startups, 80% are not able to cross through that, despite of having a great team, great product, but that grit is missing, or that survivability or being a cockroach is missing. It's all strategy of the founder, how he or she adopts that. You want to call it VC pleasing, be it because if someone is backing you for next 3 years and you're working on a deep tech, you better do that. So many places I've found this partnership works a lot more better when you have a founder who's smart enough and he also knows when to do what, right? Many times funding is more critical than the product. Many times product is more critical than funding. So it's a call you need to take based on what phase you are in.
What are the main characteristics which separate founders from being a successful founder to a one which is just getting by?
So actually getting by is an exit strategy, which is fair strategy, right? कोई problem नहीं हो strategy में, because you cannot always make Fortune 500 company out of a startup. So if you are born to get acquired, it's a good strategy to have.
Okay.
And if you are born to make a large enterprise, let's say Flipkart, then again you are getting bought, right? So exit with a someone buying you over is not a bad strategy.
ना बट पॉइंट इज कि वो हार्डली वर्क करता है मतलब आप अगर एक्सेलेंस हो
हाँ.
आपका प्रोडक्ट आपने क्रैक कर लिया धंधा बना लिया तो आपको ऑलरेडी लोग चाहेंगे ही एक्वायर करना वेदर
Right.
यू वांट टू डू इट और नॉट इट्स योर कॉल
हाँ.
बट जब डिफरेंस होता है कि हम बनाया ही है बेचने के लिए तो वहां पे तो ज्यादातर चांसेस यही होता है कि यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू सस्टेन बिकॉज इट वाज विद द एंड मीन ऑफ जस्ट गेटिंग किसी से फंडिंग मिल जाए किसी से एक्विजिशन हो जाए एंड ऑल so that founders idea about it also कि why are they creating are they really solving a problem आपके पास में कई instances होंगे इस तरह
Yeah, there are many. Like, so if you look at product market fit, acquirer fit, and the founder VC fit, right? So ये तीन balls को juggle करते रहना पड़ता है because product market fit is very very paramount for you being a sustainable धंधा. अगर product market fit नहीं है तो आप कुछ भी बना रहे हो मतलब हो सकता है आपको कोई acquire कर ले because of some niche technology which you have developed which is very important for them or that enterprise. अगर आप धंधा नहीं बना पा रहे हो तो 80% chances है कि वो it won't sustain. That is the core product market.
if a college student say wants to follow your footstep right engineer MBA global leadership multiple companies have seen multiple cycles different startups so क्या करना पड़ेगा क्या mindset लाना पड़ेगा क्लासरूम में नहीं सीख सकते आज आपसे सीखना
There are many better footsteps to follow than mine. And today, if you look at ecosystem in India, is so vibrant, right? There are deep tech startups coming from India. So India's first quantum computing startup, QPI, they are building 25 qubit quantum compute, testing it at 0.3 Kelvin temperature. It is a startup and it's a deep tech. Kids from the college, in the college, have a lot more better set of opportunities to explore. And I think what they should do is they should be agile, they should be nimble, and they should keep learning and adopting new ways of working.
as a startup catalyst in deep tech AI what's the moonshot idea that came across to you that can redefine the industry आपने देखा आपको लगा कि यार ये चेंज कर देगा
I think it's not one technology, but fusion of multiple. Let's say if quantum AI and biotech, if these three come together, my biosignatures or my quantum biosignatures of my health or my DNA, if a startup can come back and create a customized plan for me for longevity, that could be a killer idea. I think the only finite or limited resource on the planet is time.
right
No one can give you time back. But that startup can add time to your life. And it can also not only add time, it can add a healthy life time to your life, right? So if someone can work on those type of ideas, because today the technology is available, it can easily analyze the history, the genetics, and it can come to you with a very specific solution for yourself about longevity.
कोई कर रहा है ये
Quite a lot. यही है, लैब में चलते हैं, आपको मालूम तब पड़ता है जब ये
बन
ग्लोबली
जाता है
हिट हो जाता है.
मतलब लोग कर रहे हैं मतलब इंडिया से हो रहा है या फिर बाहर
Across, so सबका अलग अलग अप्रोच है. कुछ का with food है, like if you see now there are thought leaders and there are influencers who themselves are 60s but look 40. Japan, if you go to Japan, there are 100,000 people who are beyond 100 years age. Now that is not because of some biohack, but that's because of the culture. Many school of thoughts are trying to solve it in different ways.
अगर आप कोई बुक एंटरप्रेन्योर को गिफ्ट करना चाहते हैं कि यार ये बुक पढ़ो तो कौन सी बुक होगी आपकी सबसे इम्पैक्टफुल बुक कौन सी रही
I think there have been many books which have shaped my thinking, my thought process. But the most recent which I just read was The Coming Wave by Mustafa Suleyman, the guy who's now heading AI at Microsoft.
अच्छा
And Mustafa Suleyman, being very close to the actual AI action in the valley, he has shared his thoughts in a very natural, easy to understand language. And I think all the startup founders who are working in AI should actually look at that book and read that book. It's a very good food for thought. It talks about very interesting thing called as Move 37. Mustafa first cracked chess has finite number of moves. After cracking chess, people said, go crack करके दिखाओ China का पुराना. It has millions and billions of moves, right? When he tried doing that, सबसे बड़ा problem आया था ट्रेनिंग का. उतने ह्यूमंस नहीं है जो एआई को ट्रेन कर सके. तो उसने एआई के 2 वर्जन बना के आपस में गेम कराया सो दैट AI can learn faster. So I think Levi Sudol के साथ पहला मैच हुआ था. Who was the world champion those days with his AI. And when AI was playing against Levi Sudol, in one of the match, one of the game, the entire world is looking at AI playing against Levi. And all of a sudden, AI made a blunderous move which was Move 37. And everyone said, oh, this is not even a move which we have ever seen. After a few moves, people realized that was a masterstroke.
It was a trap.
It was a masterstroke because AI could foresee all the possible moves after that, and humans have never played. So that was the Move 37 mentioned by Mustafa in his book, and it's a must-read book for all the entrepreneurs.
What skills do you wish every new MBA grad should have in this new age of AI?
Prompting,
It's
better prompting.
better prompting. I think that it should be more creative thinking than anything else. Every skill is gonna be covered.
And use that for prompting.
So I think every skill which I feel मतलब वो cover कर लेगा more or less AI, but creative thinking उसमें कहीं ना कहीं आप मतलब prompting जैसे आप बोल रहे हो कि क्या बनाना है, कैसे बनाना है, उस पे सोचना आना चाहिए, creator mode on करना होगा.
I think creativity and attitude. So you need to have a global attitude of thinking. You need to have an attitude which can solve global problems. Like one of a very good startup, I met the founder. They are building an additive which, if you include in insulin or you add to insulin, it will stabilize insulin protein at room temperature. That can solve the complete supply chain and storage problem of insulin. Look at the impact of the solution which he has built.
If your 20-year career were a book title, what could it be?
Change.
Change. You have changed a lot of things in your life.
I myself have continuously changed myself.
And it is kind of a universal philosophy.
If you don't change, then someone will change you.
First chapter क्या होगा उस book का?
Interesting. I think the first chapter will be the foundation pillars or something like that.
Okay. So अभी किसी को करियर बनाना है किसी बिग 4 फर्म में, तो क्या पाथ है, कैसे बना सकता है आज का MBA ग्रेड और एनी न्यू फ्रेशर? उसको क्या पाथ दोगे आप? ये कर लो यार, इसको ऐसे ऐसे कर लो तो आपका सॉर्टेड है. आई थिंक यू विल बी एट अ गुड.
Fundamentals should be very strong, super strong, right? Ability to look at the trend, latest trend, ability to change, ability to think on the feet, right? Because the way things are changing today, as I said, right, what got you here will not take you there, right? आपने MBA तक तो कर लिया, अब MBA का corporate में आ रहे हो, so you need to change the complete ability to learn, change management, and many things like that. So I think one thing which every MBA grad should do is build their attitude for change, build their ability to learn, build their ability to continuously learn and change.
I really think all the time कि यार even MBA is necessary now. Are we into this modern era where मतलब this graduation, post graduation is adding enough value to the education of people into the corporates? मुझे लग रहा है सब तो आकर के सीखना पड़ रहा है. आपको क्या लगता है?
I think there is a gap between what we do in corporate versus what we learn in the corporate. So there is a backward movement required by the corporates, and there's a forward movement required by the education ecosystem. That is a huge gap, not only in MBA, even in technology also. What we are taught in college, as by the textbook, by the way.
Right.
I'm not saying what kids are learning. Kids are learning a lot more faster and better to be relevant for the enterprises.
Right.
My son himself is right now, he's doing his BTech. And when I look at his course curriculum, yes, it is building the foundations and the fundamentals for him. But at the same time, their ability to hit the ground running today is not that much integrated with the enterprises and their demand.
थोड़ा सा आपके सन के साथ रिलेशनशिप बताओ मुझे. मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि एक बहुत ही बिजी इंसान जैसे आप हो, कैसे मैनेज करे आज की यंग जनरेशन को? आपने क्या कुछ क्रैक किया है?
So we used to go for horse riding together, and we used to find pockets where we can spend some good time together. And there are lots of common hobbies. The recent one is pickleball. If you spend that type of quality time, so obviously a friend kind of a bonding.
Is he Gen Z?
He is.
Gen Z के साथ रिलेशनशिप कैसे बना है? आपने तो अपने बेटे के साथ ही इम्प्लीमेंट कर लिया होगा क्योंकि Gen Z तो बस बोलने के लिए है, बट ओवरऑल ये जनरेशन ही बिल्कुल अलग है. तो कैसे कैसे रिलेशनशिप बनाएं? और अगर कंपनी कॉर्पोरेट्स में देखिए तो अभी Gen Z को एम्प्लॉय कैसे करे कि वी विल गेट द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ देम, वी विल train them to be future leaders?
Interesting. I think within Gen Z also there are lots of, I can clearly see categories today. There are some Gen Zs which are very meticulous, very detail oriented. I was interviewing a candidate some time back, and young girl, and I was talking about DevOps and things like that. Interview में मुझे बोलती कि मैंने बोला Like, you do this, you do this, you do this. एक साल का एक्सपीरियंस था. If you have to deploy this on VM, how will you do that? वो मुझे बोलती what is VM, right? अब जो क्लाउड पे काम कर रहा है, right? जिसको नेटिव क्लाउड थिंकिंग है,
हाँ.
और वही मतलब हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि the new generation is not disconnected, but for them the world started when the Google was already old. For Gen Z, Google was a 10-year-old kid, 10-year-old tool. Right? Within that, as I said, right, there are multiple sub. You cannot have a standard one way applying for all of them. There will be some who will be super creative, ultra creative. You need to give them space, room to think and do the way they want with the guardrails. There are some who are very, I would say, their ability to grasp a new subject is very high. Now, in enterprises, what happens is there are lots of senior and old leader who demand certain respect because of their tenure. But these Gen Zs today are gonna disrupt the way they are working. So I think at the same time, those senior leaders need to respect. And a thing which works really well is a reverse mentoring. Every senior leader should have a youngster intern in their office. They will learn huge amount of value from them.
बड़ी बना के चलना पड़ेगा.
बड़ी बना के चलना पड़ेगा. आपको एक रिवर्स मेंटर रखना पड़ेगा. एक इंटर्न को बोर्ड मेंबर के साथ बिठा दो एक दिन के लिए. वो जो the way he will give the information in Intel, the board member must be expecting that Intel in 2 to 3 days.
Okay, मैं आपसे एक चीज जानना चाहूंगा. Companies who are digital native to the ones who are disrupting, who are basically innovative, क्या डिफरेंस है? वो लोग कैसे एक दूसरे को compete कर रहे हैं, एक दूसरे को कैसे इकोसिस्टम में एक साथ establish कर रहे हैं?
I think digital natives are a lot more sharper, faster, and agile. In last 3 years, I have seen companies which are AI native, and these companies, 7-member team, 10,000 customers, right? It was not possible even for the digital native company, because an AI native company has a lot more powerful tools, a lot more powerful technology at their perusal. So I think it's a time of AI natives than being a digital native. And as digital native disrupted their predecessors, AI natives are gonna disrupt the digital native.
तो ये डिसरप्शन अभी चलता ही रहेगा.
Continuous.
अभी अब तो 1-2 साल में भी हम नहीं एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते क्या नया आ जाएगा, वो क्या डिसरप्ट कर देगा. एआई का, एजेंटिक एआई के आगे क्या आने वाला है.
Stay hungry, stay foolish is the way forward.
अच्छा बोल के गए. और अभी वो टाइम आ गया है.
Right.
Everyone looks foolish after some months or years. हमारा एक हम्बल कमिटमेंट है कि हम अपने ऑडियंस को ना सिर्फ इनसाइट्स दें, बट उनको जॉब्स में भी हेल्प कर पाए.
Right.
जो मेन जॉब्स ऐसे क्या क्या हैं जो बिग फोर्स हायर करते हैं, उसमें कैसे जाया जा सकता है?
So Big Four's के jobs are around risk management, audit, tax, and advisory. Advisory is again broad spectrum: technology advisory, tech transformation. Then you have finance advisory, finance transformation. You have risk advisory, risk transformation. Audit and tax has been a little bit traditional that way. A CA is for, right? Chartered accountant for. So if we keep that aside, this particular consulting world is open for BTechs, MTechs, MBA, BA, BCom, even PhDs, right? And as I said, consulting is now moving downstream and upstream both, as well as implementation. The things are broadening. The horizon is broadening for even job seekers to look for those type of jobs.
जब आपका ये डिफरेंट रोल्स हायर करते हैं, ज़्यादातर मैं ये देखता हूँ कि या तो लैटरल में अगर हायर करते हैं काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है तब कंसल्टिंग में वो हायर करते हैं, या फिर डायरेक्टली IIM से हायर करते हैं. सो व्हाई इज इट दैट? मतलब जनरल टियर 2 टियर 3 से मैंने बहुत कम ही देखा है कि लोग हायर हो रहे हैं. इज इट बिकॉज ऑफ द क्वालिटी ऑफ टैलेंट कंसल्टिंग फर्म्स आर लुकिंग? हाउ?
I think वो ट्रेंड सिर्फ बिजनेस कंसल्टिंग या फिर स्ट्रेट कंसल्टिंग में है.
ठीक है.
IM वाला जो ट्रेंड है वो of the very nature someone should be able to understand the books, the company, the culture, or the M&A transactions or strategy part of it, because it is taught in IIMs better than anywhere else. And as you rightly said, otherwise lateral. But rest of the consulting, which is tech transformation, finance transformation, it has scope for everyone. Even a simple BCom with the right attitude can be a BA today and can be a automation expert, because it's very easy for them to learn.
In your 20 plus years of experience, in vast experience, what's the biggest learning you have got till now?
Again, as I said, if the book name will be changed, adaptability and change will be my biggest learning. If you cannot do that, you will be irrelevant very fast.
और सबसे बड़ा मिस्टेक क्या आपको लगा है कि मतलब ये तो मिस नहीं करना है, ये मिस्टेक नहीं?
I think there are lots of waves which have gone in front of us, which ideally you could have been part of. There are many times, you hear these stories of unicorn, decacorns and all. I think everyone should give it a shot. You don't get those opportunities. So I did mine. I worked with Tabotech, and it was fantastic learning curve for me. In 3 years, what I've learned, no campus can teach me that kind of things in a classroom environment.
दैट वाज अ रियली इंसाइटफुल कॉन्वर्सेशन. बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो कॉम्प्लेक्स हैं आउटर वर्ल्ड के लिए उसको हमने ट्राई किया सिंप्लीफाई करने का. आई थिंक ये जो वर्ल्ड है जीसीसीज का, एमएनसीज का, ये सब थोड़ा आपको काफ़ी दूर से हाई-फाई लगता है, बट है वही बिजनेस बना रहे हैं. आपको बहुत सारे एमएनसीज को कैपेबिलिटी दे रहे हैं, राइट? इनोवेशन पे ध्यान है एंड इसको समझने की ज़रूरत है. इसमें बहुत बड़ा करियर बिल्ड किया जा सकता है.
2 million direct employment, white collar, and around 2x or 3x of that a blue collar job market. So, and continuously growing. I think engineering and R&D are growing at 14-15%, and IT services is growing at 8 to 9%. So this is gonna continue to grow for next 5 to 10 years.
I would like to take some parting thoughts for our audience from you. So आप थोड़ा last parting thoughts आप क्या advice देना चाहोगे जो भी आपको सुन रहे हैं?
The world is changing very fast, and I keep talking to lots of my friends, and they say, no, it won't happen that fast. But my belief is it is gonna happen. It is already happening. My parting thoughts will be: stay hungry, stay foolish, keep learning new things, because, as I said, right, what got you here won't take you there. The life cycle of that is shortening now. Earlier, what got you here was 10 kilometer, and you were looking for next 100 kilometer. Every 10 kilometer now you will need a different vehicle. And as I was talking to you about, right, average human life expectancy is increasing. Job tenure is reducing. So every job will demand new skills. I think that's the future for all of us.
Well, it's a wrap. Thank you so much, Abhishek, coming here, giving us all the time you have given graciously.
Thanks a lot for the opportunity and interacting with the audience and you. It's pleasure, and I'm hoping that I was able to depart some knowledge which is relevant for all of us.
Thank you.